Okay, so we're playing Kili the Resourceful in Hammer. Kili's kind of like an extra Puresteel Paladin. It's a 1/2 instead of a 2/2. It is a generic and a white instead of 2 white. And that generic cost is really cool because you can play it on turn 2 and play a Saga or an Inkmoth on turn 2. It has Storied. If you have 3 or more legendary creatures, artifacts, or sagas in play, you can pay 0 rather than pay the first equip cost in the first ability. And whenever another dwarf enters, you draw a card. So it's limited to 1 a turn, but it's much easier to activate. It counts itself. It counts Urza Saga. So you can go potentially turn 1 Hammer, turn 2 Saga, Kili, equip. Or let's say Hammer, Ornithopter, Saga, or any land, Kili, equip onto the Ornithopter. It makes Inkmoth Nexus kills a lot easier too. It makes Inkmoth Nexus kills a lot easier too. And then one thing I'm really excited about is how Kili, it just lets you cast Puresteel Paladin or itself really comfortably. Like, one issue with Hammer as an archetype is Paladin's a lot of value, but it's very fragile. And if it dies, you lose all that value, so have to be very careful. But when you play 8 copies, I think you get to be a lot less careful. And you just have like a lot more value engines in general. You also have this card, the Lonely Mountain. I think it's good to test here. It's a fetchable mountain, so you can fetch it off your Arid Mesas. It enters tapped unless you control an equipment, so it enters untapped if you have an equipment, and it makes a 2/2 dwarf that costs 1 less for each equipment you control. So potentially you could just be making a bunch of dwarves in the late game if your opponents have killed all your creatures and you have some equipments in play. So unsure how good this card will be, but I think it's good to test as a one of. A card that maybe we could be playing more of too is this one, Dragonfire Blade. I think like the idea of going turn 1 Dragonfire Blade and then going Saga, Kili, equip the Dragonfire Blade on the Kili, and then all of a sudden it just has hexproof from most removal spells. I think that's pretty exciting to me. I wanted to play more. I think it's possible you could play 1 less Sigarda's Aid because you have so many Kilis. Possibly we want to play a little bit of extra leagues with this to figure that out. I was also trying to figure out my anti-Wrath the Skies tech. It's very, very difficult as Hammer. I'm not sure Suncleanser is right because they can still Wrath X equals 0, but it just feels like one of the better cards you can play. It's good that it's a creature, and it's good that against Boros Energy, which is playing Wrath, it's blanking Galvanic Discharge and Static Prison, as well as making Wrath the Skies a good bit worse. Like Wrath X equals 0, it's mostly it kills your Ornithopters, your Opals, and your Sagas, which is a lot, but it's not killing your Hammers or your Sigarda's Aids or your Cori-Steel Cutters. I guess it's killing your Steel Cutter tokens too. Play 1 copy of My Precious and Godless Shrine seems decent with monk tokens. I didn't put that one in the video. I thought it was like right outside the realm of playable. I don't necessarily want to play a Godless Shrine either because we're with the Inkmoth Nexuses, we're kind of cheating on our colored requirements, counting on Mox Opal and like Saga for Mox Opal to help with those colors. So this is equip creature has hexproof and can't be blocked. Equip, pay 2 life, and you can also sack. I don't really evaluate this card as being like what Hammer is very interested in, but let's go ahead and get in there. Super Soldier Serum not good enough. I think that Kili is like way better than Super Soldier Serum, and they're doing a really similar thing. I would love to hear if you feel like there's like a different analysis there, but I just like Kili draws cards, and Super Soldier Serum you like just lose if your opponent has a removal spell. You lose so hard with that card. We're on the draw against Kahira, and we have a Cori-Steel Cutter, so we gotta keep. Surely this won't be Ponza. Is it worth including Flagstones or another legendary planes for Kiki's story? I think it would probably have to be a mono white build for that. Little flooded. I think I am going to just play Kili first since it's the one I'd prefer they counter. If you can't beat Wrath or Meltdown, shouldn't Suncleanser be Surge of Salvation? Okay, I would think that Surge of Salvation does something really different. I hope it does something really different for what I think it does. You and permanents you control gain hexproof till end of turn. Prevent all damage. Okay, yeah, so this does nothing against Surge of Salvation, is my understanding. My understanding is this is blank text. Maybe I want to go Kili draw a card here off the Dragonfire Blade, and then I can equip. Yeah, equipping the Dragonfire Blade to Kili is really good here. Might have Solitude. They do let me draw the card. Saga's a good pickup. And now my Kili has hexproof from Solitude. Prismatic Ending. Do you guys Sentinel should have a spot on the list? You could play it over Ornithopter. I was kind of torn on Sentinel versus Ornithopter. I thought with Kili you'd want to have the faster starts, and I'm not so sure. I do think Sentinel's a pretty good card. It would help you play Flare Fortitude a bit easier. And I think if you play White Flare, you have to play Stoneforge again, which is a problem. That was a part of the reason why I used to play Stoneforge. Okay, so let's see if this Steel Cutter resolves, which I'm not wasn't expecting it, but happy to see that happen. Okay, we draw Steelshaper's Gift. I don't know what they're doing over there. In a cutter list, you want the zeros instead of Sentinel, yeah. Although it's interesting you say in a cutter list, Elk. Like, how mandatory do you think cutter is? Like, I haven't been playing a ton of Hammer like lately, but like when I was playing Hammer, like I felt like I would never ever think about cutting Cori-Steel Cutter. And Cori-Steel Cutter, I think it's a top 10 card in Modern. Equipped to the Kili because it has hexproof from monocolored. I think it's like a top 10 card in Modern, so always hard to imagine cutting a top 10 card in Modern that's so good in the deck. But maybe it's less mandatory than I think. We might be getting Wrath Disguise at instant speed here. I think Cassandra's a little slow. How many white creatures need for flight to work? 13, 14 maybe? Maybe 12. I think Cutter's bad in the current meta. 5 out of plus. That's interesting. It is like a pretty fast combo focused meta. This card is also just broken, you know. This card is also just like really broken. Bummer. It doesn't, but if Cleanser was for Wrath Disguise, you said Wrath was to beat White Trick Cleanser Dog. Cleanser is specifically for Boros Energy, and Boros Energy is a Wrath Disguise deck. And so it's like, I think it's good in that matchup specifically, but I don't think that there's a I don't think that there is a good plan for like Esper or Blue White Wrath Disguise. It was the point I've been trying to make. Okay, we're dead to this game one. Okay, so let's bring in the Needle. I think maybe just the Needle. Maybe down an Ornithopter. Probably bring in the Welding Jar too. Down to Gifts. Boros Charm can be reached. You can't. Boros Charm is one of your options. It's very tough with 8 color sources in your deck. It's just very tough to hold up 2 mana. But that may be the best option. Is Bauble reasonable for Solitude? It's okay. I think it's okay. I don't think it's like a mandatory include in these matchups. I guess it's probably better than the Shadowspear though. Yeah, probably that was better than the Spear. So this is good for Wrath. Does work. So the problem with so I just got done talking about this. I'm done to talk about it again. Suncleanser is for the Boros Energy matchup, where it's like a cheap blocker, it's stopping Galvanic Discharge, it's stopping the static persons which you're playing, and it makes their Wraths a lot worse, which they also play Wrath Disguise. And so I think it's an important tool for that matchup. Against like Blue White and Esper, they are really good at killing your Suncleanser, and Wrath X equals 0 is still like really good to leverage with their other interactions. So I'm not really of the opinion that it's a very good plan. Okay, I think I'm going to wait a turn on the Saga. It definitely is a plan. Okay, so they have Scepter, but we have Saga for the Needle. Just gonna go play Dragonfire Blade here. Draw a card. Although drawing a card is kind of let's play this. It's kind of scary. Because I could draw the Pithing Needle, which I would just lose the game if that happened. Oh, they're not gonna be able to stop me from attacking. So I guess we get really punished for not playing the hammer. Yeah, Paladin would be a lot better than Kili here. If you have 8 in play, you can skateboard in their turn to tap Isochron. Yeah, I've been messing with that a little bit. I mean, aren't they just dead? Are they dead to skateboard? I guess I mean I guess I would probably lose to Solitude. Yeah, I'm gonna grab Pithing Needle, but and play around the Solitude. The Lonely Mountain's been seeming pretty nice too. That the hammer. Well, I can't cast spells, so there's that. That small issue here. But yeah, I don't think there's really a clean. I guess yeah, even if they go Prismatic Ending Scepter, then they just die to my attacks next turn. Could find Hammer. Oh, sorry, Hammer off the Saga. Sorry, for some reason thinking Hammer from hand. Yeah, I guess Hammer off the Saga. Like they can't Solitude the Puresteel Paladin because of the Dragonfire Blade. Sorry, that was the line. For some reason, I thought you meant Hammer from hand. So they futilely consult the star charts. The star charts say you're on your own, brother, and we go to game 3. Yeah, then we'll play a Vexing Bauble over the Shadowspear. Yeah, we beat Right Source Wrath 2 with our hand, but I guess not our board. So, I mean, this is not a matchup I like to mulligan in. I can keep this, I guess. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, well that makes things smoother for sure. I do think I just want to really be loading up on Cori-Steel Cutter, so let's just get a second copy. Does the Kethis combo have any upsides to Emery Grinding Station? Yeah, dude, you don't need to have a non-summoning sick creature in play to combo. That's a pretty big upside. I mean, I am pretty curious, but like it definitely seems like people have had better experiences with Emery Grinding Station than I have. But like Emery Grinding Station has never tested very well for me. It's like if your opponent knows to just keep a non-summoning sick Emery off the field, like it feels like your deck just cannot win. If they just know, like if they know your deck can't do anything if you don't have a not summoning sick Emery in play, that's how it's always felt to me. And so maybe the dynamic isn't that dramatic, but it's kind of felt that dramatic to me. And I don't know if other people have had this experience that I've had. I'm gonna hold the Saga to play around Wrath the Skies. Can you play both? I don't think you want to play both. The Kethis combo is really powerful. It wins the turn you play Kethis, and it's like, I don't know. You don't need the grinding stations either. And like that's very valuable. So my opponent kicks a chant after I attack. This felt intentional, but I don't understand why it would be. We'll let them get their 4 for 1. Let me look at my top card. So it's an Urza Saga, so I may have a hard time double spelling for the Steel Cutter next turn. So let's just attack for 2. They can sign the Bauble draw. Do they just have a second Wrath? I guess it's play Grinding Station. Yeah, you don't need to play Grinding Station. You can play it if you want to. I believe I'm not playing it. So we draw that second Saga. I think at this point I'm gonna play this Mox Opal for a prowess trigger. You know, I'm just getting it. I'm getting it in. No, they did kick the chant. They did kick the chant. You can just play Jace. Yeah, I just play Jace, the mill Jace. Because next we can top 8 73 grinding stations. I always felt like Jace was better. I mean, maybe I'm just like too slow to adapt to like the fast combo format. But I guess you could play both. Maybe playing both is good. Play map to search mountain? No, I'm playing Arid Mesa to search mountain. Historically a better mountain searcher than expedition map. Nice to be doing so well against an opponent who got a 4-for-1 Wrath Disguise against me this game. Okay, nice. So I can go turn 1, Sigarda's Aid. Yeah, the mountain being a red source is so awkward here. I think I have to mulligan this hand. Okay, this hand's a lot better. I think I put back the Paladin. And then we go turn 1, Ornithopter, Sigarda's Aid. Turn 2, Urza Saga, Turn 2, Urza Saga, Steelshaper's Gift for Hammer, cast Hammer, attack for 10, assuming that's a line available to us. And if that doesn't work, we can play turn 3 Inkmoth Nexus, and then the turn 4 Saga, chapter 3 will let me put a hammer on the Inkmoth Nexus. What other deck are we gonna get in? I'm gonna play either goblins or elves, and I'm not sure which, but it will be the one you prefer. So stay around. It will be the one you prefer of those two. Bilbo seems good in Isn't Metalcraft as copies of Emery. Thoughts on him? I hear people keep saying this. I disagree really strongly. While I think Bilbo was really good in Dimir, I'm not interested in playing a worse version of Emery in the Isn't Metalcraft deck. Like in that deck, Bilbo's a lot worse than Emery is, I think. It's an extra mana you have to attack to get through. And like there's not a shortage of other good card advantage options you could play instead. It just does not seem to me to be like an artifact like an an extra Emery card. Like maybe there are some decks that play Emery that also play Bilbo, but it's far away from being like a place I'm really excited to try it in. Bob with the 7, thank you, welcome back. Yeah, shout out to Elk. The Steelshaper's gifts have definitely been better. So I feel like they have Force of Negation, and they're thinking I'll just force the hammer instead of the, Okay, well, they're just reading the card. All right, we're going to attack for 10. My opponent mull to 5. They may be playing Neoform. Get an untapped Breeding Pool. So if they are Neoform, they can't pay 7 life to Gristlebrand anymore. They get a basic force. I guess they could technically be living in still. But living in and Neoform both play all these cards. They could have Beseiju. They could have the Whale, whose name I could never remember. Sorry, Whale. So, I mean, I would think my opponent has something. Let's see what they got. We could get Lonely Mountain maybe here. Yeah, they could have Wistfulness, although not anymore. Yeah, I think we might as well get the Lonely Mountain. It is going to enter tapped, but that's okay. It's kind of a fun thing to do. Mountain's been good. I'm hoping they show me if they're playing Living End or Neoform with the Surveil. Thank you, opponent. Living End with Xenaghost. We got it. We know for sure that they're playing Living End with Xenaghost now. It's all makes sense. Okay, so I got a 2/2 construct. We draw Kili, which I guess is not doing a lot for me. It does let me draw a card if I activate the Lonely Mountain. How many doors off Lonely Mountain have we made? I think 2, I think. Maybe 3. So this is going to be consign. Okay, so Kili actually does do a lot here. Nice to win game 1 against Neoform. So we're going to game 2. I'm going to bring in 3 cages and 2 Vexing Baubles. And I'm going to really prioritize opening hands that have these. I'm going to cut these Shadowspear. And I guess I'm going to cut 4 Cori-Steel Cutters. And think of my friend Disgruntled Elk who gave me advice. I think also with the Welding Jar. Probably want to go down like a Paladin too. I guess I've done a Dragonfire Blade over a Paladin. Maybe, yeah, maybe play Steel Cutters, 2 Steel Cutters over 2 Dragonfire Blade. I think that makes sense to me, yeah. Let's play this. Needle's Finish. I think it's pretty bad. They just get a different creature than Gristlebrand. Hmm. I guess we'll keep. This is where in paper you have to really act. You have to really act like, oh, I just don't know. I just don't know if I want to keep this hand. These cutters here were in the hate pieces. I want to see how the same picture good cages. Yeah, I agree. Good to be on the same page about something. I'm tired of fighting. Yeah, Kili plus Saga. Well, you have to have something else, but yeah, you do get the emblem pretty fast in this deck. All right, I guess we play the Inkmoth to kill him next turn. Might get Besieged again. Wait, no, you don't. Wait, so how? So Saga is it's a Saga. As long as you have 3 or more artifacts, legendaries, or sagas. So you have 1 legendary, 1 saga. So where is the third for the story? Urza Saga is not legendary. It's not an artifact either. The artifact that searches Saga. So you're just saying when Saga makes an artifact, then you have storied? Because I think that's a much less exciting statement, I'm going to be honest, guys. Like I'm responding to the comment. So like someone said, here's the trade the dialogue tree that just happened, guys. I go someone says there you need if you have Saga and Kili, you have storied. I say no, you need one more thing. A lot of 3 people go no you don't, no you don't, no you don't. And then the answer is it's cuz Saga searches an artifact. I mean sure. But you need to have 3 things in play at the same time. So 2 answers to Hammer here. I don't have a white source to cast the gift this turn. I guess I can still get a hammer. I can kill with Inkmoth next turn. Can't play the jar because of the bauble. No spike. This is what they said. I can't read the full comment. I can just see that you're responding to someone. I'm probably misunderstanding something. Let's say that. As usual. All right, we'll get my 3rd hammer, I guess. You got a 3rd answer? 4th answer, I guess. So I'm going to play the Lonely Mountain before they kill my hammer. Interesting that they're going after my like they haven't been going after my Vexing Bauble this game. Okay, so let's go Sacred Foundry untapped. Do I play the Welding Jar, the Steel Cutter? I don't get to draw a card. I guess I do just wait, actually. Kili, Saga, and the Saga Search trigger your 3 things to the point. Okay, I guess... Sure. Sure, but I think the exciting part about Kili plus Saga is the turn 2 dynamic and not like turn 4 once you get something of Saga. Oh, it's also not even true because when the Saga searches something, the Saga's gone. Or is there a moment where both are in play? Maybe there's a moment where both are in play. Do you only have 1 hammer left in the deck, huh? I think I'm interested in the extra card more than I'm interested in the monk token here. There is a moment. Okay, cool. I guess that's what you were trying to say. Or what you did say and I misunderstood. So we have storied but not metalcraft. I'm gonna attack for 4 through my opponent's 4 pieces of interaction. Yeah, that's what I didn't realize is that there's a window for both, I see. It could come up. It'll definitely be a judge call at FNM, I tell you what. I'll tell you what, it'll definitely be a judge call. So we're probably going to be making a Saga token and equipping the hammer there, although I'm not inspired by the play. Guess it's not a great reason not to do it. I can play another paladin and I can play a Welding Jar to get a monk token if I want. But that is less damage than... I guess I can also fire up the Inkmoth. Sure. Yeah, it's fine. Just have it be tapped. Play Kili for the draw. That's true. I could cycle the Kili. You could cycle Kilis. Actually, didn't even realize that. You could cycle them. Another little small interaction. It's good that we have enough damage here where Gristlebrand can't draw cards. It makes like winning this game kind of impossible, even if they have like Hooting Mandrills or Disenchant plus the payoff. I don't know why they'd cycle the... I guess they're just never going to Rider, so they're just all in on Hooting Mandrills. They can't Summoner's Pact for Hooting Mandrills, though. Okay, nice to 2-0 Neoform. I've said it because it's an interaction that comes with decks to the point of my Saga 20. Yeah, see, I appreciate you clarifying because I didn't understand what you were saying at first. Is Superior Spider-Man good at Modern? Yeah, it's good. It's kind of a like... It's not like a super... That's not like super stock or anything, but it is good. Yeah. All right, I think we play the hammer turn 1. Although maybe it's better to play the blade turn 1 to equip the Kili too. I feel like you want to cut an Inkmoth for Surveil. You could. We only play 4 fetch lands though. Is this going to be another game of getting turn 3'd by prowess? I don't have a Sigarda's aid to flash in the skateboard. I do think I'm going to play the skateboard so I can have Metalcraft. You will live. Me, you're going to live. Yeah, forward buff is definitely a lot, but like I think it makes sense to be playing forward to be testing the dynamic with Kili. But we're definitely cheating on our colored source quantity and kind of like thinking of Saga as being a colored source a lot of the time. But absolutely. Yeah, we were always gonna play Kili equip here, but we had the option to like wait or not use the Mox Opal mana. But I think it's better to use the Opal mana here. So this is 6 damage. A Lava Dart is plus 8 plus 10. So right now this is 10. Flashback Dart is another 5. I think I go to 1. Yeah, this puts me to 1. Nice. This is like the third time we've been in this situation today, and this is the first time we're living. Nice to win on the draw here. Okay. So I think I'm gonna stick to my sideboard plan for the most part. I'm bringing these in. I'm gonna keep it the skateboard. I think I cut it once, and I don't think I liked that decision. I'm gonna go down a gift, a paladin, and 2 baubles. Dirty Actavis with the 6 months. Welcome back. Yeah, Kili's the new Puresteel Paladin variant, and it's been really good. I think it is actually better than Puresteel Paladin, but it's close. Just like the casting cost is such a big deal, and the lower requirement to getting online is a big deal too. Gonna have to mulligan this, I think. Yeah, there has been a lot of prowess today. Yeah, this hand's a really good example of just I think I put back the gift, but we just have like this is a turn 2 Kili equip. Oh, I guess it could be it could also be a turn 3. It could also be a turn 2 paladin equip because of the Mox Opal. Never mind. They are on a multi 5 though. Yeah, the paladin ceiling is way higher for sure. So I like this Ornithopter draw. Thinking about getting basic plains and then just getting Lonely Mountain off the Arid Mesa. I think that's fine. I do care about my life total a lot. You don't care about your life total? You don't care about your life total? So they multiply, double preordain here. They missed their land drop. So I suppose I want to play the Inkmoth Nexus this turn now. It is a little bit nice that if my opponent has Meltdown, we're able to like hold the Mox Opal here to play around the Meltdown. We'd have to commit it if this was Puresteel Paladin. Not the biggest deal, but it's something. So they found their second land, which means that they have enough mana to melt down my hammer. They do have to have it in their hand, but they did double preordain and mulligan aggressively. What's the red? The red is for Cori-Steel Cutter and Lonely Mountain. Which I was about to fetch off the Arid Mesa, but we could just cast it. Okay, so we're 3-0. Glad we gave this one another league. Let's get a trophy prediction going. I mean, getting Cori-Steel Cutter here seems fine. Might be a mulligan. I don't know what the matchup is, though. They kept 7. I guess I'm just going to keep this in the blind, but it may be too weak. More prowess? Maybe. Is Bauble in there only for Cutter? It also turns on Mox Opal. But yeah, I'd say mostly for Cori-Steel Cutter. Mjolnir's actually just a Pyroclasm. I mean, if it's just 3 mana Pyroclasm that you can tutor, I don't think it's very interesting. It's like so slow to tutor it, and it seems really awkward that it also kills a lot of your stuff. If you have Stoneforge in your deck and you can put it, you can like put it into play, like it's better. But we don't have Stoneforge Mystic in the deck. I've also played a good bit of Mjolnir. The card is it's not like very good. It's not very bad either. Interesting. Let me look at my top card with Bauble. Well, the Dragon's Prowess 2 matches in a row. Top card is Inkmoth. I think if you're running one Mantle. You know, I have played Mantle in these decks. And you might be totally right. You might be totally right, but I have played Mantle, and I feel like I just never have these crazy Mantle turns that people seem to really like. I think it's a fine turn to try to just block too, fine game. We have the inevitability here with like the Sagas. So again, you might be totally right, but I just haven't had that experience that again people seem to have. Lakers sold for 12.5 billion. I saw on my phone. Ooh, or I don't know. I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm still a Luka fan. I try not to really care much about that stuff. I care about the game, brother. Yeah, so I think with the Paladin out there, or the new Paladin draw, just correct to run this one out. Do you think Kili over Shram and Cheerios? Well, Kili only triggers once a turn, so probably not. It's a good draw. Now we have to live this turn. Maybe they're gonna sack the Islet. No, they're gonna expressively iterate. I'll say probably a good sell from the Lakers. Like, I don't think the Lakers team looks that good post off season. Be interesting that they're mutagenic growthing a non-trampler here. Although there's okay, they have lethal. Okay, so we're down a game. It would be nice to have one. The die roll, it's okay. Go down to Paladin, down a gift. And down 2 baubles. It worked for us last time. Let's see if it works for us again. Kellen, in my opinion, on Super Soldier Serum. I do not understand Super Soldier Serum. I know I saw a lot of people do well with it. Maybe if Elk's in the chat, he could say something about it. But that card just is it's kind of expensive. It's 2 mana, and you have to have a creature, and you have to have like really 2 hammers in play for it to be great. And it's such a fragile glass cannon card that I'm not really a believer in it. And I would also think that Kili mostly replaces the desire for a card like that. As far as Kellen goes, I haven't played much with Kellen. Kellen could be good. So for Mystic is not modern legal. It is modern legal, but we had it in our first draft, but the curve was too high with too many 2-drops, so we're playing Steelshaper's Gift instead, and that's been a good change so far. So I think we're gonna go play the Dragonfire Blade turn 1. So we can try to play Paladin and equip the blade to it turn 2. Kili's replaced a large, I think Serum's a 3rd best equipper. It's just because of the speed it provides you. You get the card's so fragile. Yeah, it's good with the axe build. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna have a hexproof Paladin this game. It is sad not to be playing Stoneforge Mystic, I agree. But I don't think it's optimal in this build. You have to get Plains over Lonely Mountain. Alright, they have they have Inexpressive Iteration on top. Draw Sacred Foundry, not a great draw. You get an untapped Steam Vents. Interesting. You play a Swift Spear. And a Preordain. I'm kind of okay to block if they attack and then just get the Mutagenic out of their hand because I just have backup Paladin. I can get Metalcraft with the Inkmoth. They do keep 2 on top, and they don't have the Mutagenic growth. 3 board in the blade. It's in the main deck. I think the blade is really interesting with Kili, which is the main reason I'm playing so many. If I was, but it's like I don't know. It's a flex spot for sure. Can you just play the upgraded Trudge deck? Mossboard Bridge is just really broken, so I think we just should have been playing 4 bridges the whole time. It's just a land that casts Emrakul. Alright, so back down to 1 Paladin. They keep a card on top. They do have they still have the iteration in their hand, which is kind of scary. They don't attack. They draw a card off their bauble up to 4 cards. I can fetch the Lonely Mountain this turn. But I won't be able to activate it. I think I'll just play this tap this turn. Could maybe have attacked here. Why is there so much prowess today? I guess variance, but main prowess is good. You could do a boggle deck sometime where it's unplayable. It's unplayable. It's just weak. It's literally just weak to everything. Sword on top to block the DRC. I'm not gonna make this not hexproof. It's also hexproof for monocolor, not protection. So it's I guess it's a 2/4 to block the DRC. But yeah, let's just take 3 this turn. Not chump block with Inkmoth. Be able to make a dwarf. If this was Kili, the dwarf would draw a card. Come on, equipment. All right, I'm gonna attack for 4. They're thinking. Wait, the mountain's at it's at sorcery speed? Oh no. Disaster has struck. Not knowing. Okay, that's bad. Can't have anything nice. Surprised you read the last 6 matches? Yeah, I just didn't come up. I'm sure I've read it. I just, there's a lot of new information coming. You're gonna forget some stuff. They surveilled a dart in the yard, so could die this turn. Might as well try to block. So Shadow Inkmoth Nexus. So this is 9 damage right now. That's lethal. My opponent typed buy at the chat. What the fuck? I think I keep this on 6 on the mulligan. On the draw. That's why I bring in Vexing Bauble, shut down a lot of this stuff. I mean, shutting down the Lava Dart is like, it's not very good. And then like this deck plays 8 like 0 cost cards too. Like we play the exact same number, so it's kind of tough. I think we're gonna have to play elves next. Okay, Leyline of Abundance, cool. Dude, my hand sucks against Devoted Druid. It's so bad against Devoted Druid right now. Yeah, we set up to trigger the Cori-Steel Cutter turn 2 with this hand. So they play a Tyvar. They untap the Arbor with Tyvar, then they play a Devoted Druid. Then they play a Fiend Artisan. Maybe Devoted Druid is better than the Badgerable Cub deck. Because they mull to 5 and they're gonna kill me turn 2. Oh, they're missing it? Oh, they're mana short, okay. I'm still just dead to the They get Vizier, they untap the Fiend Artisan. Okay, so I guess we'll bring in the Pithing Needle. That does stop the combo. Cage is like really insane against them. Portable Hole is good against them. I want to keep with the Shadowspear for trample. I think I'm going to cut the Steel Cutter since this is just like mostly good against removal spells and they're not playing any. You can cut all the blades also. Just max out on the hammer stuff plus disruption. They should have a lot of hate cards too. Thanks in Everett with the 18 months. I stopped working on Hammer last night and testing because Druid was the faster non-interactive deck. I feel like we have a lot of good sideboard cards against them though. What do you need against them? Devoted Druid. It doesn't stop the mana ability, but it stops the ability for them to untap the Druid to combo off. You can also name Tyvar if you want. They don't play Cup. They do play Cup. I have a version of this like Leyline of Abundance deck I've been working on for a while. That's like it's like a Quarian Ranger, Badgermaul Cub, Springheart Nantuko deck that has different combos than Devoted Druid. But maybe Devoted Druid is just better. Hammer is much better against Boros and Prowess than Druid is, yeah. You can quite reliably kill on turn 2 with Hammer Axe. I mean, how much is quite reliably? It's got to be like less than 15% of your draws. I think I'm mulliganing this. And I think we'll keep this on 6. Awesome dude, 18 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Don't hate on variance spike. Variance is up the game. What did I say to spark this comment? just wondering. What? I just wondering. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in playing less Inkmoth next time we come back. My comments on Axe. Well, the variance is fine. I'm just responding to. I'm genuinely asking how. Someone said you can quite reliably kill on turn 2 with a Hammer Axe. I'm asking how much it is. I think it's listed at 15%. I think it's fine to be playing a high variance deck like this, but how much is very reliably? Okay, so we've got a portable hole, which is good. And I might as well poke in for a single infect damage. And also, when we draw if we draw a white source, we can attack with a lethal Inkmoth Nexus, although they can chump block it. Or we can draw Kili. They have a Fatal Push? Huh. I think X reduces variance, though. Hammer Axe is just like double hammer, question mark, both present a turn 2 kill. I think this is silly. So Hammer doesn't present a turn 2 kill. You need Axe doesn't present a turn 2 kill. You need a hammer with the Axe to present a turn 2 kill. But it's like, Leyline Axe is a super high variance card. If it's in your opening hand, it's great. If it's anywhere else, it sucks. I don't think that's very controversial to say, but this is just kind of certainly the case, is that if it's in your opening hand, it's great, and if it's not, it's quite bad. Better if you have Stoneforge Mystic in your deck, which we don't. But it's not like Axe is like a second hammer, because it only really kills with another hammer. It's like a second hammer if you're counting it it's like the second hammer if you already have one, but it's not like the first hammer. Also, when you play these ley lines in your deck, you're like always really tempted to keep kind of shitty hands too, which is kind of tough. Would love to draw a white source because we would win the game. Ley lines is definitely high variance. So many things also play. I agree, it's high variance. If you don't think Axe is high variance, you're being serious. Yeah, or maybe not serious, but sometimes you can mental gymnastics your way into something like this. Okay, they minus the Tyvar. They hit a Halfling or a Birds of Paradise. They go for Halfling over Bird, and they hit Duskwatch Recruiter. Come on, white source, please. Thank you. So we get to go to game 3. 1, 2, 3. I think we'll attack Tyvar so that they don't have haste for next turn. All right, game 3. Should probably be playing the Welding Jar. I don't know if I want to be playing the Lantern. All right, game 3. I don't think I'm gonna mulligan Cage plus Portable Hole. The Mountain's a little bit weird. Can enter untapped if we play the Hammer before we play the Mountain. My opponent's thinking about their 7-card hand. They do mull to 6. They don't snap keep the 6. A little bit awkward that my only white source is Mox Opal, so if they have Collector Oof, I can't cast the Portable Hole on the Oof yet. Although maybe I'm just overthinking it. I just will never mulligan this hand. I have a valuable Helix combo. Is this Retraction Helix? Because I'm a big hater of Retraction Helix. Helix Pinnacle, I see. Okay, so they play a turn 1 Birds of Paradise. I think I'm going to play Inkmoth Nexus turn 1. Just go Inkmoth Cage. So, oh, this is just a okay. This is the Helix Sleep deck. Okay, I got it. So you have your Helix Pinnacle, and then you have Charm Sleep, Scrying Sheets to tuck you in, Evolve Sleeper, Savior of the Sleeping, Tireless Tracker who needs to go sleep on the Helix Sleep mattress. There's a Nightmare. I would not play the Nightmare card of the sideboard. I feel like that's very inaccurate to my experience with the Helix Sleep mattress. A plus. So they can't Green Sun for Oof, which is nice. They do have a Cub, though. Second Cub is going to represent so much mana for them. They play a Halfling. They only have 2 cards in the hand. Yeah, Rest in Peace should be in there for sure. I don't have any Cori-Steel Cutters in my deck right now, so I guess it's fine just to play out the Ornithopter. So they sacked the Nurturing Peatland. I don't think I've ever seen Peatland Cub before. I guess in Yawgmoth some. I guess I don't know if I've ever seen it trigger like this. They play an Arbor. Then they spend 3 mana. Again, turning off all of their tutors with the cage is pretty backbreaking for them. So I guess I grab Shadowspear and I just use the Kili to equip the hammer. This is 18. Every time on this. 18. So they have to put at least 3 points of toughness, which is either all their mana dorks or the Cub plus a mana dork, which is it's gonna be a good attack for me. So they're probably gonna put the Overgrown Tomb and the Cub, although if they do that, the Peatland also doesn't tap for mana. Or they have Force of Vigor, which I don't want that to be the case. Notably, Kili castable here. Paladin wouldn't be. I guess we have double Mox Opal. Oh, maybe I should have. I guess I could have played a second Mox Opal to just activate the Inkmoth for 1 more damage, which it just kills. It kills 1 more creature. I guess that would have been right. Yeah, that would have been right. Yeah, Elk found it before me. Okay, still doing pretty good though. The Green Sun does not resolve because of the cage. Or resolves. And we 4-1. Okay, pretty exciting. We would have 5-0 probably if we won the die roll the last match. That's fine. A lot of question marks. I liked the Lonely Mountain. I think I'd continue playing it. I think I'd almost definitely cut 2 Inkmoth Nexus for like two more red and white lands. Probably fetch lands, although it's weird because they're like not white fetch lands. So maybe just like Inspiring Vantage or the red white card draw land instead. I feel like the Dragonfire Blades are big flex spots. So maybe you could just be a Leyland Axe gamer instead if that's your prerogative. But I like the 3 Sigarda's Aid with the 8 Paladins. I think that felt pretty good. Sideboard as always with like circles, new 75s are big question marks, but look pretty good. So let's go ahead and get to Elves today. Let's get to Elves today. So Elves has a few new cards, or a couple new.